Hello everyone! For this class we will be working on our balance, some toning and a lot of movements. So starting off in mountain pose, taking a few deep breaths, just to center ourselves, mentally prepare ourselves. From here now shifting your weight to your right side, left knee to chest, pressing back to water dancer, palms facing forward or back, then bring your knee to chest, water dancer, knee to chest, water dancer, knee to chest, water dancer. And on your fourth one, you're going to come into standing pigeon. It's fine if you wobble just a little bit, we are redefining gravity. Just holding here for a few breaths. And then leaving your arms the way they are, you're going to step back into a lunge and come back forward into your standing pigeon, and that is the first exercise. From pigeon back to lunge, from lunge back to standing pigeon, back to lunge, back to standing pigeon, back to lunge, back to standing pigeon. And now pulsing it out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your left foot and bend over, forward fold. Just allowing our legs a nice chance to stretch out here. And then rolling back up to Tadasana. And then when you're ready, you're going to shift weight over to your left side, right knee to chest, water dancer, right knee to chest, water dancer, right knee to chest, water dancer, right knee to chest, one more time, water dancer, one more time. And on your fourth one, bring your right ankle to left knee, standing pigeon. Holding here for another couple of breaths. And then leaving your arms the way they are, you're going to step back to your warrior or a lunge, and then back through to a standing pigeon, back to a lunge, back to your pigeon, lunge, back to your pigeon, back to a lunge, back to your pigeon. And now pulsing out your pigeon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your right foot, bend over, forward fold. And if you like, you can walk out your forward fold by slowly bending one knee at a time, similar to what you would do in a downward facing dog. Remember to bend from your hips and not your lower back to protecting your spine. On your next inhale, rolling back up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Shifting your weight back to your right side, gripping onto your left ankle to your glutes. It is fine if you accidentally drop your leg. Once you've got a grip, feel free to bring your right hand to the small of your back. Flexing your left foot and extending your leg away from you just a little bit. Now dropping your foot and coming into a crescent lunge. Hands up above your head and imagine that there is a beach ball between your hands. And make sure that you can see your toes on the horizon of your knee. And now bring your hands to that same prayer position as before. You're going to straighten through your right leg, keep the left leg straight, re-bend, twist, crunch, center, straighten, bend, twist, crunch, center, straighten. And we're coming up to 5 of these. And then on your 5th, you're going to bring opposite elbow to opposite knee. In this case, our left elbow to right knee in our twisted lunge. So the further back your left foot will be, the deeper this posture, the more narrow the feet, the easier the posture. And now we're coming into a balancing sequence, stepping your left foot close to your right foot, lifting up your left foot slightly, And then if you want to challenge up a bit more, come into a Shiva squat, left knee close to your right calf, and then stepping your left foot next to your right foot, automatically coming into our twisted chair. Bend as much as you can through your knees, lowering with your hips, and then reaching up into a chair posture, hands above head, keeping low with the hips, and then pulsing it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and forward fold. And on your next inhale, rolling it back up to a mountain pose. I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Reach for your right ankle to your right glutes, hand behind the small of your back if you like. Then flexing your foot and extending your right leg out just slightly. So it's like a little baby dancer's pose. And then when you're ready, releasing your right foot, stepping back to your crescent lunge, hands above your head with that imaginary beach ball, toes just on the horizon of your left knee, and then bringing your hands back to prayer. Straighten through your left leg, keep the right leg straight, re-bend, twist crunch to your left, center. It's fun if you lose balance. Straighten, bend, twist crunch, center, straighten, bend, twist crunch, center, and keep going up to 5. Then on your 5th, bringing opposite elbow to opposite knee. In this new case, right elbow is to left knee. So we're just enjoying this twisted lunge on the other side, and then we'll come back into that balancing sequence. Bringing right foot nearby left. Lifting up your left foot. It's fine if you need to touch base a bit to rebalance. Challenge yourself a bit more with Shiva squat, but then plant your right foot next to your left, so that we're automatically in twisted chair. And then when you're ready, come back to your official chair pose. We're not going to pulse out this time, we're just holding. But then you're going to step out with your feet into a goddess squat. Adjust where you need to, straighten to the leg just for a moment, hands by your head, no squats, but we are going to waist crunch. So sway side to side, crunching that waist. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now straightening through your left leg, you're going to lunge 3 times into your right leg. 2, 3, and then you're going to explode the knee up to you, almost reaching for your right foot, landing with a soft bend, and then 3 lunges. 3, and then explode the knee, almost reaching for your right foot, and then return to those lunges. So each time we do the knee explosion part, so to speak, that is our rep count, and we're coming up to 5. And now lunging it out in pulses. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten through both your legs, widen your feet up as much as you like, and then coming into a forward fold. The wider your feet, the easier it is to get your elbows, maybe your head to the mat. The more narrow your feet, the more your upper body will be lifted. It just makes the posture easier. But if you'd like to challenge yourself to a full forward fold, widen your feet up. Just make sure that your heels are outwards and your toes are in to protect your knees. Then rising back up and we're returning back to those goddess waist crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now straightening through your right leg, coming to left side lunges. 1, 2, 3, explode the knee, control crash. 3 lunges. 2, 3, explode the knee up to yourself, almost reaching for your left foot. 3 lunges. Then explode the knee. I know it doesn't really look like I'm bending into my knee much, but trust me, I am. Just remember, when you land with a bit of a bend to your knee, so that way you don't lock out and hurt yourself. And our lunge pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now coming into a warrior 2. So from your warrior 2, we're now coming into a peaceful warrior. And from peaceful warrior, extended side angle. Make sure to keep that chest nice and open. Then sweeping your arms along your mat and coming into warrior 2 on the other side. And then coming into peaceful warrior. Then coming into extended side angle. Then re-sweep your arms along the mat, coming into a high lunge. From your high lunge, you're going to step back into a plank. And then from your plank, drop your knees into a child's pose. I prefer it to be wide-kneed, it just feels nicer on my ribs and my stomach. So we're just going to catch our breath in this posture, reevaluate ourselves, rejuvenate our strength. So we are past all the balancing sequences, coming into the core strength, coming into a tabletop, extending your left leg, and then coming into some Pilates push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now pressing up into a downward facing dog. Holding here for just a breath. Then as we come into our side plank rolls, as we're about halfway through with our hips, rotate off to the side. When you press back up, your hands are already back on the mat. So as you come forward halfway with the hips, you're already on your side plank. And as you come back up, your hands are already planted. So now holding our downward dog just for a couple more breaths. And then we'll bring our left toes to our right heel. So you're going to slightly be off center. From here, either come to a plank if you have a sensitive back, or all the way down to a very active upward facing dog. So from downward dog to a upward facing dog, and then back to a downward facing dog. Just 4 times. So working our core and working our shoulders. Switching out sides so your hands are more to the right corner of your mat and your feet are to the left. So once again, back issues, just come to a plank, or if you're fine, come into a full, very active upward facing dog, and then press back up into a downward facing dog, just 4 times over. And now from here, coming down onto your knees and just settling in a hero's pose just for a minute, just to allow our arms to re-strengthen. Shake them out if that feels nice. Stretch out your shoulders, but if you really want to preserve the strength in your arms, just allow them to flop in your lap for right now. It's catching our breath. Then when you're ready, laying on your left side, your left leg remains straight, your right foot in front in a bend. Left arm is straight, right arm reaches up and overhead, so does your waist when you lift up for 1. And lift for 2. Lift for 3. And lift for 4. And now your left leg straightens. Adjust your feet however you'd like. And side plank lifts and lower. Lift for 2 and lower. Lift for 3 and lower. And one more time. And now we're coming back to child's pose. Just to catch our breath again, preserve the strength in our arms. So when you're ready, come back onto your right side this time. Left foot in front, right leg is straight. Left arm is going to reach up and overhead, and your waist is going to lift for 1. Lift for 2. Lift for 3. And lift for 4. Now straighten out your left leg. Adjust your feet however you see fit. And then lift to a side plank for 1, lower back down. Lift for 2, lower back down. Lift for 3, lower back down. And lift for 4. And coming into a high plank. And lower down to your elbows. And we're going to come into some hip dips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then coming into some dolphins with alternating knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming to tabletop, this time extending your right leg, returning to those Pilates push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now however you see fit, shifting your way back, we're going to come into the back of our mats but laying in the center. We're going to come into a nice gentle easy spinal twist. So whichever way you prefer to lay in your spinal twist, there is no right or wrong. Now switching out sides when you're ready. So in this case, my right leg is going to come across. And feel free to also look across your opposite shoulder. Come back through to center when you're ready, and come into a happy baby. So gripping onto your feet, the outer edges of your feet. Allow your knees to come as close to your body as you can. And then when you're satisfied that, coming into your Shavasana corpse pose. I'm going to hang out here for a couple of moments. So really allow your breathing to even out, your heart rate to come back down. Allow your whole body to flop and relax. Then when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes, roll over into a fetal-like position. And then coming all the way up into your version of an easy seated pose, somewhere in the middle of your mat. I personally like to sit cross-legged with my feet aligned, elbows to knees, and my hands in LA Mudra, meaning thumb and index together but the rest of my fingers spread. Just taking a couple of easy deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, you're going to rise your hands up and overhead. All that positive energy that's above you, bring it on down to yourself. Bow it out with yourself. Thank yourself so much for seeking so much balance, so much harmony, and a lot of strength. Thank you all so much for watching and or following. I do appreciate either way, and I shall see you all for my future videos. Namaste.